We can use it. Put your hand on your chest, dude. I'm singing the anthem. By the dawn's early light. You didn't know I had the voice of an angel, did you?
It sounds amazing.
Well, maybe a fallen angel.
You are a man of many
still,
talents.
Caroline, welcome.
Thank you very much
How
for
are you?
having me. I'm
How's
very good,
things?
thank you.
You ready to go?
I'm ready.
I know there's like a lot of questions that people want answered, but
Loads.
we'll get into those at the appropriate time.
Okay.
But let's give them a brief introduction about you. You know, where you're from, where you grew up,
Okay.
and where you are now.
So my name is Caroline Brooks, but a lot of people know me as Caroline DXB.
Okay.
I grew up in Newton, Massachusetts in the United States, and I moved to Dubai about 10 years ago, and I've lived
What made
here
you
ever
move?
since.
What was like?
My ex-husband made
Okay.
me, like, he didn't make me move, but like he already had his life settled here.
Okay. Was he
And-
Arab or?
No, he's Eastern European.
Okay.
So his life was already settled here, and it was just a lot easier for me to kind of
Mm.
uproot my young
Yeah, yeah.
life and
And
come
just-
here rather than him going to the States,
Yeah.
you know? So that's pretty much what made me.
Back then, was it? Did you think Dubai is going to be like, oh wow, amazing,
I
or
knew
were you like, I
nothing about
can't wear a
Dubai.
bikini, I can't go out,
I
I can't do anything?
I had no thought process because for me, I had no idea like what Dubai was yet. Like it was, for me, I saw a few things like on National Geographic
Mm.
about mega structures
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
weird things like that. But I still didn't fully grasp what
What it
Dubai
was,
is
yeah.
yet. So I had no thought, like I didn't know what it would be like.
Because even now, people have misconceptions about Dubai. Because I have some friends that are like, I want to come, but I don't want to, you know,
It's crazy.
not be
that
allowed
they're
to wear a
still
bikini
like
on the
that.
beach. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, that's insane.
Like, it's not camels and people walking around in
For
Honduras
sure.
all day, and
For
that's
sure.
it, you know?
And Dubai's gotten a lot less strict
Mm,
anyway.
yeah.
Like people are literally walking around the malls with like tiny shorts
Right?
on. And
I
nobody
mean, I
says
like that.
anything.
It's got to be. It's like the tourist hub of the world.
Yeah,
There's got to
for
be
sure.
some kind of flexibility. Otherwise,
For sure.
no one's going to come here.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But originally, you're from where?
So originally my ethnic background, I'm mixed. I'm Hispanic and Jamaican. I'm Afro-Latina. My mom has Jamaican origins, but she was also born in Honduras.
Okay,
And my dad was born in Honduras too.
as
But,
well.
yeah, but my dad is of Salvadoran and Honduran descent. His
Ah.
mom is Salvadoran, his dad is Honduran. And my mom, her mother is Jamaican and her father
Okay.
is Honduran.
So, ¿tú hablas español, sí?
So I'm un poquito.
Sabes un poquito español.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I have predominantly Central American heritage.
I much prefer the old, you know, South America. I did a lot of traveling, and the difference in the character and the language of South America compared to Spain
Uh-huh.
is completely
No,
different.
but I love South American Spanish more.
Yeah, I love
It's
it.
just more beautiful
I
to
love
me.
it. It's even like Portuguese.
Yeah,
The
it's more
Brazilian
like,
Portuguese is very melodic and
yeah, it's
kind of
very
dancing,
soft
and
and
then
like
the
sweet.
Portuguese is like Russian. Like
Yeah,
they're so
it's
like
harsh.
"Arr."
Yeah. The Spanish from Spain is very like, it's very textbook to me.
Mm.
You know, it's very like what you would learn
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
classroom
And
opposed
they have a
to,
lot of like
yeah, a lot
yeah.
of,
Yeah.
and we roll our R's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, maybe I'm biased, but I like our
No,
Spanish from
I'm
our
totally with you.
region.
Have you been to Honduras?
Of course.
Yeah?
Of
And
course.
love it?
Love it. That's my
Love it.
home.
Is it like a regular place you go?
Yeah, because for me, I mean, what a lot of people don't know is I'm first generation American. Both of
Mm.
my parents were born in Honduras and immigrated to the United States at kind of a younger
Yeah, yeah.
age, at like in their teens. And they had us, you know, in the U.S. So our really our foundation, our heritage is very, very Honduran. Like we're very Honduran,
Mm.
and we were raised with all of that culture.
And what
in
was
our
it like
home.
growing up in America? Did you get any kind of like, was it hard? Did you get a lot of racism?
I'd
And when you did get the
say-
racism, was it more of towards the black side, or was it more towards the Latin side?
I would say a mixture of both because if I would hang out with like black people and they would hear my family speaking Spanish,
Right.
it would just be like
Yeah,
they would
what's
look
going
at
on
me
there?
crazy.
Yeah.
And then when I hang out with Hispanic people and I'm a bit darker because I'm Afro-Latina,
Mm.
they would be like, well, she's not that Spanish then,
Yeah.
you know, she's black.
So you're
it's
kind of
just-
like in a limbo in
yeah,
between.
it's like how like a mixed race kid would feel
Mm.
kind of like it's an identity crisis. Like what am I? Do I say I'm black or do I say I'm Hispanic? If I say I'm black, I know I'm black because of my skin, but my parents are Hispanic.
Mm.
You know, so it was
Yeah,
just it was always that was
See, I
hard.
totally understand. Like even with my kids, they're so mixed. Like my eldest, his mom is Spanish Trinidadian,
Mm-hmm.
and my youngest twins now, his mom's Somali, but raised half Somali, half English, raised in the UK. So, and then they live in Dubai. So they
Yeah.
kind of have no real attachment to like who am I?
Yeah,
Where am I from?
It's
kind of thing.
hard.
And
Yeah.
I've never been to Lebanon either. I'm Lebanese, but I've never been to Lebanon.
Imagine.
So I'm just like, yeah, just roll with it, carry on, and
Yeah.
just
And then
be
the
who you are.
city I grew up in didn't help. Like, because I grew up in like a very upper class Jewish
Mm,
city.
mm,
Like, Newton, Massachusetts is like an affluent Jewish
yeah,
city. And it, like, the ignorance is
yeah.
just at an all time
I feel it's
high.
getting better now. I think they're gonna have a better time with it
For sure.
than we did
Like,
growing up.
yeah, for sure. Everything is getting a lot better because of,
Yeah,
times
everything's changing.
change.
TV, everything
Yeah,
is
things
everyone's together.
change.
Like when I was growing up, I, I mean, okay, my mum was Lebanese. My dad passed away when I was young, so it was my
Oh,
mum
wow, I'm
who was
sorry.
raising me, and I could speak Lebanese, but I've never been, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to kind of, and also raised in the UK, so
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't English, but I wasn't Arab, and where did I kind of fit in there? And then I look like Albanian or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I don't even
Mm-hmm.
look like a Lebanese person.
I didn't know
A lot
you
of
were
people, yeah, a lot
Lebanese.
of people are like,
I
"Where are
just
you
thought you were
from?"
like
Yeah, I
white.
get random people just talking to
Yeah,
me in different languages, and I'm
yeah.
just like, okay. So it's strange growing up like that, but I think now it's a bit more relaxed, and
Uh
they're
huh.
kind of gonna, it's kind of like who you are
Uh huh.
and all that cool.
Yeah, I think those kind of racial tensions are easing, and people are really looked down upon if they still have those kind of views
Mm.
because everybody just seems to be becoming
Yeah, it's
more
like, how are
open
you still
minded.
like that kind
Yeah,
of thing?
why are you like that? Like it's just stupid.
Mm.
I think we all have like a little bit of racial banter in us.
Yeah, of course. I mean, everyone does, but I think that
We all got a few
I
jokes,
think
but
now it's
like
harder to be
as long
racist
as it's not
than it was before.
malicious.
Before it was easy to be racist because it was a
Yeah,
thing. You
yeah.
know, you're
Mhm.
either racist or you're not, and you could
Yeah,
be quite open about it. I mean,
yeah,
you'd still be a dick, but
yeah.
you could be open about it,
Completely.
and you'd be around more people that were open about it.
For
Now
sure.
you just got to be like closeted
For
racist and
sure.
secretly
And
racist, and
that's no life to live. Like
right.
then that's just that sucks. If it sucks to be you if you're that one of those kind of people. So
Do you think that they know that,
that
like,
they're
how big of a
racist.
dickhead they are, or
I think it's their own insecurities. To me, I think it's like when people are that ignorant and when they are that just horrible and just mean, I feel
there's
like
got to be
they
like a why, right?
yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like they hate themselves. Like I feel like there's something wrong from within. Because when
I
you
just
really get one of those people alone and you dig deep, you
right.
can really crack to the core
But
of them and get to them.
racism is such a complex
Super complex.
thing, not just because
And it's taught.
it's
You're not
stupid.
born
Yeah, yeah, of
racist.
course.
It's taught.
But the thing
So
is like there are racist people out there, even in the UK, everywhere, who are so racist. But when the black player scores a goal, they run and hug them, and they
can you
love them
imagine?
when they're playing
Yeah,
football.
yeah. They
And like in
idolize
America, but when
these
it comes to
athletes.
sports, yeah,
Yeah.
all of your sprinters and all of your Olympic
But when it's in
athletes,
the
but when it's
neighborhood and
not,
he's your
yeah,
your
right?
next door neighbor, you hate that black
Like,
guy.
yeah, like how does that work? Like
Yeah.
how do you like click in between,
Imagine. I don't
right?
understand it. I couldn't understand it for the life of
I don't
me.
get it at all. And
Yeah.
how do you feel about your son Adam, right?
Yeah, Adam.
You see,
He's mixed race.
observant.
Yeah.
How do you feel about him growing up here? Do you feel like a lot of people always say to me, "Oh yeah, your kids are gonna grow up in my friends from the UK.
Hmm.
They're gonna grow up in a bubble, and they're not gonna know what it's like to live real life." And my reply is, "Well, I like this bubble,
Hmm.
and they can stay in this
I
bubble."
have, yeah. So I have two different opinions on that. I'd say I love it. I love how safe he is. I
Right?
love how he doesn't have to deal with
Those things.
those woes and
Yeah,
those sad things that a lot of American kids have to
yeah.
deal with. But on the flip of a coin, I also reflect back to my own
And
childhood
how
and
you made
going
you adapt to. Yeah, yeah,
outside
yeah,
and going sledding and
yeah,
like playing and like ringing doorbells and
yeah,
running and
yeah.
like I
I
just
still do that now here.
yeah, like playing like ding dong ditch and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like I just think about like how coming home when the streetlights come on or
Mm,
we're gonna get grounded. Like
yeah, yeah,
I just think about those things he's missing out on. Camp, like sleepaway camp, where we slept in bunk beds and like went,
yeah.
built like
But
bonfires
I
and
mean, you
stuff.
could still do that here if the expat community, if you have the right friends and that who
I
also
I
have kids,
want
you
us
can
to
kind of
just try
arrange
to get
that.
it done
You
because
know?
like these kids, that's the little bits of this is why I think that they say like a lot of if you see a lot of American kids, they have a lot of character
Mm, mm.
because of
Because
how
they
open.
had to be like
Yeah,
chameleons as well. Because they have to
yeah,
adapt to situations. Because if you get caught slipping, you get caught slipping.
yeah,
Here, if you get caught slipping, some guy will be like, "Oh, you almost slipped, my friend. Here you go."
yeah. No, in America, you get shoved into a
Yeah,
locker.
yeah.
Like, but those lockers that we got shoved into built
Do
who
you
we
think
are
people
today.
still shove people in lockers, or do you
Not
think that it's come to the
necessarily, but
point
you
where
still get into
you're in a
fights.
kind of like internet locker these days? They kind of use the
No,
whole
I think there's still.
mental.
I think there's still that like old school traditional school bullying.
Mm,
I think there's still that like bull crap, like where like the kid who's at home, like and as an adult now, I found out that the foundation of most of that bullying was because those kids were at home, like maybe being abused and stuff,
mm.
and then they would come to school and like
And then you
abuse
never
their
know what's going on. Yeah.
classmates. Yeah, And
Yeah.
I think I mean, I don't know if everybody's been bullied, but I have when I was younger, so a
How
little
did you
bit.
deal with it?
I told my older brothers, and they
And
came to the
that's it. They
school and
just
like
came and
threatened.
fixed it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, hell yeah.
yeah,
So that always worked for me, and nobody messed with me again after that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's always good to have the backup
Yeah.
ready to go,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure. I have a really big family, so
How many people
we
are in your
stuck
family?
together. I'm one of 7 kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
And oh, how many sisters? How many brothers?
3 sisters, 3 brothers.
Okay, all
Yep.
brothers are older.
All my brothers are older. I have one brother who's only 11 months
Not
older than
good
me,
for
though.
prospective boyfriends when you were
Oh,
growing
for
up, right?
sure. I wasn't allowed to talk on the phone to boys. I wasn't allowed to go on dates. I don't think I ever officially went on my official first date until I was like in my senior year of high school.
Did you go to prom and all that?
Yeah, I went to
stuff
prom
again?
with my gay best friend.
No way.
Yeah.
And was that
I
like
didn't
a
go to
rule
prom
from your
with, like,
brothers? Like, we know he's gay. He passes. He's
My
okay.
brothers were already out of the house at that point.
Yeah, so you can
like,
kinda
so
get
they
away with
weren't
it.
around, but like I was already so used to just being like the little sister, and I knew how to play my role. I mean, I still talk to boys, but like super quiet. Like when I would get caught sneaking out of the house, I just wouldn't hear the end of it.
Mm.
My brother set up a baby, like like the little baby
Baby
monitors.
monitors, yeah.
So my brother would stay
Like
up playing his like
tripwires and all this,
PlayStation,
yeah.
and like they knew that I was going through like the 16-year-old phase of sneaking
Yeah.
out. So my brother put the baby monitor right by my room door,
So he could
and
see
he would
it,
see me while he's playing his video game.
The little green lights would go
Yeah.
red, and then
So
he'd
he would
be like,
let me leave. No, it was a camera. So he would watch it on the monitor, and I didn't know the camera was right there.
nice.
And so then he would tell like he would wait till I leave the house, and then tell my parents. So all the lights would be on when I got back home. And I'd be like, oh,
But you know
frig.
what?
I'm in so much trouble.
I kind of get it.
I didn't even
I
want to
kind of
go
get it.
home
Like
after that.
being an older brother and knowing how I was when I was younger. The protectiveness is like, oh, you just don't want her around.
Yeah.
Any dicks that are going to do anything, stupid
For sure.
you know,
They
it's just
had
like-
every reason to be that way because, I mean, it turned out like, and I don't even want to say this.
You
Actually,
have to say this. If you look at camera 1, that would be right there, and you could say it right now.
Oh my God. Because it turned out like my brothers being so protective was smart because one of their friends, I won't say which brother it is, ended up creeping on me like when I was like
No way.
yeah, when I was already like I was already in my senior year, but like I hadn't dated like
Yeah,
boys
yeah.
seriously or anything. And one day one of my brother's friends, like his own friend, like who would be at my house all the time.
Yeah.
And he like looked at me different, like, oh wow, she grew up,
Hey,
you know?
you look different
And
now.
so yeah. And so then one day, it was like the summer before I was like turning 18, he was like, oh, like you want me to give you a ride home? So my brothers had every reason to like he tried to hook up
Yeah,
with me. So my brothers had every reason for trying to be
Did you
protective
tell
like
your
that.
brothers about that?
No, they're gonna know now.
Okay.
They're gonna know now, like 12 years later.
Are they
13
still
years
friends?
later. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
So yeah, that's that. Yeah, the guy. It's not easy being a girl in this world. It's not easy being a brother to little sisters as well.
Do you know, I don't think it's easy being anything in this world these days, man. It's just, it's especially with the all eyes on you kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Like back in the day, I mean, I loved the days before Google and before
Oh,
internet
yeah, for
because I
sure.
used to lie about everything.
For
but
sure.
now,
And there's no record. You
Fucking
can't.
Google
you
just kind of
can't
brings
prove
me
it.
out all the time.
Oh, yeah, for
And it's
sure.
like, proves me out. I used to get away with so much, and now like there's literally a button you can press to show someone how much of a liar you are.
100%.
And I kind of miss those days when I
100%.
used to make
Me
stuff
too.
up.
I miss the back in the day internet too, like the fun stuff. Like back when I used to have MySpace.
Yeah.
I was like the MySpace princess.
Right.
Like people think I'm popular now, but my popularity really began in my teenage years. I was
MySpace.
super popular on MySpace. I was like one of those girls that was in everybody's top 8.
Did you go from there straight to
No, I went from
Facebook
there to
and Instagram?
Facebook.
Yeah.
And then from Facebook, of course, Facebook was limited about how many people
How
could,
many
and I
friends,
had
right?
5,000
Yeah, yeah.
immediately. So that was the cap on it. And I went from having like 280 something thousand friends on MySpace, which was huge for back in those
we
days.
say friends,
Yeah.
but like in real, I hope
280.
you don't have that many friends in real life.
No, but I was really big
Yeah.
on MySpace, really big, like big. And I was just a kid. Like I was only 16. I remember when there was an issue even at my high school because there was a guy who came to my high school and figured out where I went to school because I posed in front of like my school thing.
Right.
And he figured out where I went to school and the whole school like had to like go on like lockdown.
Really?
Because yeah, it was a security risk. The guy came from off of
Not
like,
a bad reason to go on lockdown. To be fair. Most people
Yeah.
probably liked it and they got a day off school and stuff.
yeah. So my social media like days started kind of early.
And how do you feel about, well, we'll get into it later, but
Mhm.
social media in general, is it something that you think is a good thing or a bad thing or a
I think it's the most incredible thing at the moment
if used correctly.
if used correctly. You can really use your platform to make,
But I feel like a lot of people don't think about what they're putting online,
for sure,
especially people who have kids. And I don't just mean women and men
for
too.
sure.
It's like your kids are going to see this stuff when they're old.
A
It's
100%.
not going anywhere.
A
So I
hundred
think you have
percent.
to be very aware of,
They only think in the moment, and they
right?
think like, what are my followers going to think, or my fan base is all these men who love to see me looking hot, and like they don't think my sons are going to grow up and be 16 and be horrified
Right. And not just that, your daughter's going to grow up and
and
be a
just
certain
try to be
age,
like you.
and then you have no leg to stand on.
Not a
You
leg.
can't be like,
Yeah,
okay, don't do this, don't do that.
hundred
It's
percent.
it's done.
A lot of people, and that's for me why I'm really blessed and lucky in that sense that I've never ever in my life put out content that's too risque.
Mm,
You know, I'm not really that kind of person
yeah, yeah,
anyway. I'm very fun and very outgoing. I can be risque with the things I
yeah,
say,
yeah.
but I have a lot of self respect
Mm,
for my own being, and I know that I am somebody's mom at the end of the day, and
mm.
I'm somebody's daughter, somebody's sister.
How old's
So
Adam now?
Adam's 8.
Has he started saying, "Oh, I want Instagram"?
He
Oh,
has
he has
TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah, he
Okay,
doesn't care about
TikTok's
Instagram.
not.
Like he can't. He actually hates it. He loathes it because of how much time I spend on it. He's
Mm.
like, He was like, I was like, Adam, why don't you get off your iPad? He's like, well, why don't you get off of Instagram?
Yeah, you're like
I'm like,
touche.
well,
Yeah,
alrighty, kid.
I think for kids, TikTok's a lot better because it's actually creative. Where
Yeah.
in Instagram is like, oh,
But now I see like the Insta thoughts trickling over to TikTok, and it's
mm,
starting to like really like rub me the wrong way
yeah,
because I don't want my son seeing that.
yeah, there's
For
nothing
me,
you can do about
TikTok
it.
was for kids,
I
or it's
remember,
for
I
like parents and
remember,
kids, where
mm,
like they're doing all these cute little
yeah,
dances together and stuff. But
I
like,
remember when my son, it was years ago, but I mean, we have a really good relationship, me and my
yeah,
eldest son, and like nothing, there's no holds barred. He can say whatever he wants to me, and he can be whoever he wants
yeah,
to be.
of course.
And one time when he got Instagram, he sent me a hashtag, and it was hashtag Drake. So I was
Oh
like, okay,
wow,
hashtag Drake. So I clicked it, and it
yeah,
was
that's
just
different.
loads of porn, and he found it hilarious that they'd used the hashtag Drake to kind of hide it and then put it inside that. So all these kids now knew how
Oh,
to
that's not
kind of get
cool.
onto there.
Wow.
And I thought it was hilarious because obviously
It's
I
fun.
really enjoyed the
Okay, well,
fact that
you
he
as a
could.
dad, you think that's funny. Me as a mom, I would be freaking
Yeah, but there's
horrified.
nothing you can do. I found it hilarious and comforting that he told me,
Yeah, yeah,
that he
yeah,
showed me.
yeah, yeah.
So that meant I
That's
was
good
doing something right. Do
for
you know what I
sure,
mean?
for
Because
sure. If he's comfortable enough
I
to come
would
and
love
tell
him
you,
to, anything that he's going to do, any mistakes that he
for
wants to do,
sure,
I'm
that's
there for
every
him.
parent's dream
You
to
know,
have their kids be open with that.
yeah, and I think parenting is it's got to be done in a way where you have to let them just be honest with you,
For sure.
because you could be strict and you can do this and this, but they're just going to go and do it anyway. So at
Yeah, and
least,
if they're afraid of you and they lie, it could actually be really dangerous one
right,
day. You know, there could be something that you really need to know about.
and
And
then they just don't tell you.
yeah, you don't want to be your kid's friend, but you also don't want to
Yeah,
be,
you don't want to be a stranger.
you
You
don't
don't
want
want
to
to feel,
be,
yeah.
yeah, you don't want to be that person where they're like, I'm terrified. If I tell, I'm going to get in so much trouble.
Mm,
No, you want to say, like, we'll handle it accordingly. You did the right thing. First, you want to commend them for telling,
mm,
and then you punish them accordingly. But for sure, like, I wish
mm.
I had that, like, because I had fear with
Say, me
my
too, dude.
parents.
Me too.
I was afraid.
Arab mom, like the amount
Yeah.
of stuff that she threw at me,
Yeah,
she hit me,
my mom would
and
hit me.
how her throwing skills were that good, that slippers could
Good
turn
aim.
corners, and like I didn't know she had that level of fitness, to be honest. And I would never see her move as much as when she's chasing me around the house.
Oh my
Like my mom once
gosh.
broke her favorite brush on me
Yeah,
by hitting
that's
me,
how
and
bad
then
you.
started beating me for breaking her brush. So it was two separate beatings, and I had nothing to do with it. I don't know
That's
what
like
was
with
that.
my brother. Like my mom hit him and she hurt her hand and she got more mad. Like she slapped him on his
Even
back
more.
and hurt her wrist and then got more pissed.
Like it
Like,
was so strange. But I remember that one day
oh my
where
God.
my mom hit me, and then I realized it doesn't hurt
Yeah.
anymore.
It doesn't. Oh my
Yeah,
God. They hate that.
yeah, they
Oh,
hate it.
they
And
hate
she was
that.
hitting me, and I was just standing there, and I was like, "Are you finished?" And I'd never seen
Yeah, they hate
both
that.
so much rage
Oh my
and so
God.
much defeat in one expression.
Oh, they
And then she
hate
just like
that.
turned around and walked away, and
Yeah,
I
then
knew that
that
was
was
like
the
a
end of it, right?
victory to me. Yeah,
Yeah, she won't
the
touch you
same
again
thing
after
with
that.
my brothers and sisters when my brother and sister used to kind of like hold me down and beat me
Yeah,
and
yeah,
play
yeah, yeah.
fighting and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
And I remember one time they were both on top of me, and I was like, "No more!" And I kind of stood up
And
and
you
threw
just
them off
got
me,
pissed. And
and
that's
that
the
was
end
like
of
a
it.
pivotal moment
Oh
where I
yeah,
was
for
like,
sure.
"This ends now," kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that's really the end of it. Like once you prove like that you're,
That's it.
big
Yeah,
now and like yeah,
I've
it's the
morphed
end of
now.
it.
It's
For
over.
sure.
What
Yeah.
about are you thinking of having more kids?
I get asked that so much. So for me, it's kind of it's a toss up. Like I'm really content with having just one.
Hmm.
But
What
if
about him? Do you think he's content without having
he
a brother or
no, he
sister?
wants
Or
a sibling so
yeah,
bad. Like he's expressed that so many times, and like I just look at his age, and it's just
mm,
like he's getting older and older,
yeah,
and
and
the
he's gonna
gap.
get like bored of
If
them because
yeah, for
they're not gonna
sure.
have any kind of reference
He'll be a
points.
cool big brother in the sense that like I know that my if I have other small children, they always have an older brother who's a lot older than them to
Mm,
like kind of look out, you
mm,
know? But it's sad that he didn't have that sibling
mm.
companion growing up.
And what about cousins and stuff? Because where you're living in
Oh,
Dubai,
he has so many cousins that are his age. My
but here,
siblings not here.
yeah.
There's no family.
So how do you feel about
So
that?
my that's the
Mm,
worst part.
mm,
That for me is the worst part. They're all close back at
mm.
home, and
And he's here,
here's
yeah,
this cousin that has this odd accent and
yeah,
like
right.
lives in Dubai and like says, "Oh, your mom doesn't drive a Range Rover."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It was like, oh, so you only have a picture of a horse, not a real horse, right?
Is this your
Yeah,
whole house?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like I'm like Adam.
Yeah,
Shh.
don't say that. I told you that
Don't.
before we got here. You have to like prep him when you go back there. You just be like, listen, things are different here.
Yeah, I
Just be
try to.
cool, kid. Be cool.
I mean, I try to tell him he doesn't want to be that kid in the summer that's like hanging out and everybody like
Mm,
odd like
yeah,
picks him last for kickball. You
yeah.
don't want to be that kid. Be
But I think he'll
quiet.
get used to it and he'll start to appreciate
Oh,
it
for sure.
in
And
in
he's a humble
30
kid. He
years.
just truly didn't like it's
He
super
doesn't know
culture
anything
shock
different.
for him. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Super culture shock coming back. Like and we don't live in like my parents live in like a really nice
Mm,
town. But like he still kids are in America are way like no
mm,
matter how rich they are, they're still way more normal.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
super normal, where like here it's not abnormal for the kid to go outside and see three Ferraris
mm.
parked outside in our neighborhood.
It's not abnormal for a kid to go outside and have three Ferraris
Yeah,
of his own
exactly.
parked outside.
Exactly. It's not,
Yeah.
it's like, so, you know, when he makes those like little comments, I know that he's not trying to be rude.
Just do what I do. So whenever my twins are running around the house, I mean they're going to be 3 now.
Yeah.
I always just stick my foot up and trip them up just to know that, just
Let
so
him
they
know
know
who's
that
boss.
no, just so they know that life's unpredictable. And so sometimes I do that. Sometimes I take the laces out of their shoes without
Oh
telling them.
my
So they go to
God.
put their shoes on.
Yeah.
There's no
See, that's
laces,
something a dad would do.
and
I
I
would
just need them to know
never.
that life's like that.
I could
Sometimes I'll give
never.
them a bath, but I'll hide the towels so they have to
Oh
literally
my
just
God.
dry by themselves. But
Stop.
they have to know that not everything's going
No.
to be there for you.
I could
You know?
never. I could like my son is just such a mommy's little boy because I only have him. So like he's very
Yeah,
coddled.
I love them too.
Of course. But like I think if he had a sibling, his sibling would obviously nag him and like they would have each
Yeah.
other to like do but like I'd feel like I'm being a bully to him because he only has me at home.
No, it's fine. Just trip him up. It'll be fine. He'll appreciate it. He'll appreciate it later.
No, all
Or
he
just,
does
you know
is
what you need to do? You need to rent a really small 1 bedroom apartment or studio in Dira.
and
Take him one
just
day and say, "We live here now," just to give him a little shock,
ooh. Yeah, he would be really
right? Just a
upset.
little paddling pool in the living room filled with like oil instead of water.
Yeah, before we lived in the villa that we live in
Mm,
now. We lived in an apartment, but a really nice one in the
mm,
Palms. So like
mm.
we lived in an apartment. He liked it,
Yeah,
but I think he likes the house way more because of the pool,
yeah, of course,
not because of
of
anything else.
course.
Just because of the pool. Like he can walk out into the backyard and just go
Mm.
swimming.
Yeah, I mean, he's got it good. He's got it
Yeah,
good.
he's got a pretty decent
But I mean,
life.
this is what we work for, right? As
Exactly,
parents and stuff, and working on building their character and working on giving
for
them
sure.
the most we can give them.
For sure. And I'm trying to raise my son the way my parents did and letting me know the value of a dollar.
Mm,
You know, like and letting him know that there are a lot of as he gets older, he's understanding more that there's so many people who are so underprivileged and they
mm,
don't have nearly anything that he has. I try to
mm.
teach him to
Because
share
he's
because
getting to that age now, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
and he's an only child, so naturally he's very giving, but naturally he has a lot of selfishness to
yeah.
him
Because
because
it's
he's
not
never
his,
had to
no one
share
else's.
before
Yeah,
ever.
yeah.
So now I try to teach him and I let him actually see what I'm doing when it comes to the whole internet stuff during this
Mm,
pandemic about how I'm giving money out.
mm,
And I'll tell him, listen, I can't buy you as many Robux this month
mm.
because we're going to
I'm
give
gonna
half
be,
of
yeah,
the
yeah,
money
yeah.
to some kids that need to
Mm,
get food and Pampers. And he said,
mm.
okay, mom, that's fine.
That's cool. That I mean, he's there now. I mean, I realized that kids when they're younger, I mean, at his age, they're more observant, but when they're younger, they don't care about that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember with my oldest son, I used to always try and make it an event when we were going out because me and his mum, we separated, and I'd have
Hmm.
him on weekends. Um, and I always, okay, it's a weekend, we have to do something amazing,
Hmm.
kind of thing. And then one weekend, I just didn't know what to do, and my friend, and he was about 4 at this time, 5,
Mm.
And my friend was like, "You do realize he doesn't care, right?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like,
Mm,
"Mate, he just wants to be with you. He
that's
doesn't
it.
care." So
What you're doing
I
at
went
all.
on the tube,
Yep.
literally on the underground, sat
That
on
was
the
probably the
train
most
from
exciting
one
thing for him.
side to the other side of the trek,
Yep.
and then came back, and he loved
Oh,
it.
he will never forget
He
it.
loved it.
He won't forget
Yeah,
it.
it was amazing. And then I was like, "Well, that's gonna save me a lot of money.
Of
Like,
course.
what am I
No,
doing?"
no, they literally just want to spend
Yeah,
time and just be with you, just have that one on one and just like have you looking at them and talking to them. And everything is an adventure. Even taking a walk and you just talking about stuff that you see,
mm.
that I noticed that means more.
I think it's really important. I mean, I'm I love being being a dad. I mean, for
Hmm.
me, it's more important to my life, and
For
being
sure.
present. I think a lot of people don't realize how much being present affects your children.
100%.
It's one thing, just being around them, buying them things, but
Yep.
giving them your time is it's a gift that's better than anything you could give
Yeah,
them.
for sure,
You
for
know,
sure. And I feel like as parents, we have to just continue to remind ourselves of that because it's easy to,
to just be like, "Hey, just take
yeah.
this,"
And then also like living in a place like this where we have nannies and stuff, where
Mm,
our own family's not around, where
yeah,
their grandma's not always there, or it's different. Like when all the family's around, it's fine because
yeah,
you're still very present while your
yeah.
sister can be looking out for your kids or whatever. But here we
Very
have
easy, right?
other people, and it's
Mm,
easy to forget like that nanny just spent the whole day with my kid while
right.
I'm still in the house.
Yeah, and a lot of people here have kids, and the nannies are raising them
Oh yeah, for
all the
sure.
way through.
And they're in the house the whole
Why
time.
have the kids? I don't get it.
I don't get it
Like,
either.
having children is it's like the funnest game you could have, and
It's so cool.
it's the most it's the best, like, gift you could give yourself to learn more and broaden your own horizons, and you
For
learn
sure.
so much from them, just
For
like
sure.
hanging around them and
For
doing stuff. You're
sure.
like, "Oh, I didn't even know I was like this," kind
For
of thing.
sure. It can be stressful at times depending on your situation,
Mm,
but overall it's the most reward. I couldn't imagine my life without my kid.
mm,
To me that's my greatest achievement to date,
right?
you know. My
Wouldn't change it for
greatest
anything. Yeah.
achievement is like I brought that kid into this world.
And you
Like,
can still keep working on it, like, because that's
yeah,
the thing as well. You always have something
exactly.
to do, just making them who they are
Exactly.
as
Just
they
making him
grow. And
better and making him grow and make sure he's safe and just make him be the best man he could ever possibly be.
mm,
It's just that's going to be my claim to fame,
mm,
so I'm excited about that.
nice.
Yeah.
So I've got a segment in this podcast called "The Elephant in the Room,"
Okay. Hey.
and I kind of just put that segment in now.
Okay.
So I'm sure there's a lot of people that are watching this that want to address the elephant in the room,
Okay.
and the elephant in the room right now, something that's happened recently and that has just skyrocketed you going viral and
Hmm.
online, and literally just kind of overnight changed your life, right?
Everything. Yeah, it did. It did. It certainly
Do you
did.
want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure.
Would
I
you like
mean,
me to introduce the name,
please.
or would you?
Well, okay. I mean, I can kind of, I'll intro it a little bit.
Okay.
Um, so I can tell this story from the beginning of how it all happened,
Mm,
to be honest. Um, I'd say a little over a month ago,
mm,
I was dating somebody in Dubai
okay.
and we had split ways.
Okay.
And when we did, I had the genius idea of posting throwback videos of me and my ex from over a year ago, like
Okay.
almost 2 years ago.
So this was ages ago when you were
Like
dating him. It
ages when we were
wasn't.
dating, but it was the best memories ever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it made me happy.
Mm,
So I had just gone through a breakup 48 hours prior.
mm.
And I was
And
like,
then you were just there, like, sitting
well,
with cookie crumbs everywhere, just like, I'm gonna
so
post it.
I'm not
Yeah.
the kind of person who will sit around and cry.
Mm,
I'm the kind of person who just be like, well,
that's it. Onwards and upwards.
onwards and upwards, and this makes me happy, and these are sick videos
Mm,
because like this is back when I was treated how I should have been treated
mm,
in this relationship, and I was never treated that way.
mm,
So I was like, let me just post up these videos because I love Kenya,
mm,
and this is like my best memories
mm.
ever. So I put
Right.
up some videos of me in a chopper
Okay.
and me being airlifted from this place down to this house
Yeah.
and all these like cool, amazing memories.
Mm.
And then I covered my ex's face with a heart.
Okay.
But any Kenyan will
We'll
know
know who it
who
is and where
that
it is.
is behind that. Apparently, I didn't know they would know,
Mm,
but they would know who that is behind that heart because they could just tell by
mm.
the facial structure, the whatever. They
Yeah.
could just tell
The
everything.
house and
So yeah,
who was
I
it?
didn't know that, huh?
Who was it?
Well, he's a governor, and
Okay.
he's a governor in Kenya, and so I didn't know that it would be picked up by one viewer.
Okay.
And so basically what happened is there's a Kenyan socialite that's currently staying in Dubai, and she's a friend of mine.
Okay.
She's come to my house. I do these like Saturday brunches
Yeah, yeah.
and Friday brunches. She's come to my house and she tagged me. Therefore, her 2 point something million followers of all Kenyan girls, now a bunch of them started to just view my
Yeah, yeah.
page and be like, "Who's this girl?" Because
Yeah,
like, who's this rich girl in Dubai that this girl's hanging out with?
Mm.
Okay, so I posted that, and a Kenyan caught a glimpse, and they're like, "Wait a minute."
I know that face.
They were like, "That helicopter looks familiar.
Yeah.
What is the relativity between this American girl in
Mm.
Dubai and our governor? Like, I
Okay.
don't get it." So them being, the very curious people they are, they went through my entire Instagram and they found a
Okay.
highlight labeled Kenya. And in
Okay.
that highlight labeled Kenya, there's about 99 clips of my whole entire relationship from beginning to the end. From when I
No
went on
way.
vacations to the Masai Mara, from when I was in this house, and they were like gold. So they went to the
And they just
most,
ran with it.
oh, they went to the most like I don't even know how to describe him. He is like the
On
most,
YouTube?
yeah, okay, this blogger is like
Mm.
the blogger of like bloggers in
Yeah.
Kenya. Okay.
Mm.
He's the one who outs everybody. He's the
Mm.
one who gets to the bottom of every kind of
Yeah.
scandalous story. And he
Yeah, yeah.
was like, "What the F? How did we miss this?
Yeah, yeah.
Gold. Like, you can't
Yeah.
find a photo with this man, with any woman at all."
Yeah, yeah.
And here goes this girl on
Putting
Instagram
90.
with an entire album of just raw footage. Like,
And at the time, did he tell you don't put any pictures up?
no,
Or
never.
never. So it wasn't
Never. My relationship was
it wasn't
never,
like a take that kind of thing.
never.
It was just
It
like
was
a
never a secret. Because I also wasn't I was popular in Dubai, but who knows him here?
yeah.
You know,
Okay.
so, and it wasn't like I ever put up like pictures of us doing anything
Yeah.
risque.
No, like public displays.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of person anyway, but I put up pictures of like our adventures together and all the cool things.
But when you were in Kenya at the time and people were seeing you guys together,
Yeah.
did no one put two and two together? And
I'm sure they did, but like, what are they going to do? They couldn't like record us or anything. And like the people who would see us together would be like the people around him. And like, that's still private. It's like a private residence and stuff like that. So yeah. And it wasn't like we had PDA, like we weren't out in public, like kissing each other.
And how did you meet in the first place?
In Dubai.
Okay.
Yeah. So we met here. I am a director of a real estate brokerage in Dubai.
Okay.
So I get to meet a lot of different people, and when I first met him, I didn't know what he did. I didn't know who he was. I had no clue. All I knew is that he was a really nice guy. And I was just like, I really like this guy. He's so nice. I didn't even think to Google him.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I Google everybody.
Really?
Now.
Okay. No.
Back then.
Yeah, but before, why would you Google someone?
Yeah, there was no reason for it. He was just super nice.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I really like him. He's a super nice guy. And I didn't even think to Google him. I didn't know what his occupation was. I had no clue.
Yeah.
I even saw his social media and I still didn't understand what he did.
Yeah, yeah.
All I just knew was that he was just a businessman.
Yeah,
I didn't know what he did. And so I was recently single. I was recently single and I, decided I have my leave for 1 month from work.
So
we saw each other in Dubai. I was like, I want to come to Kenya.
Was that the first time you went to Kenya?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've always really, really wanted to go on safari. I was like, it's like a dream of mine. He's like, I'll take you.
Dude, I totally get it. Africa is different.
Oh my God.
I'm in Zanzibar I've even I'm buying land there and everything. There's something about the air, even the smell. Like when you land there,
everything.
There's the way that it hits your face.
So you get my you get it.
Yeah, dude.
Because everybody's like, what is your thing with Kenya? Like, why do you love it so much? I'm like, I just love everything about it.
It's completely different. I mean, even the language. I mean, look,
Swahili's
Hakuna Matata
beautiful.
comes from Swahili.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
I know the Lion King.
Do you know what I mean? So many words from the Lion King is in Swahili, and
Swahili to me is just so beautiful.
It's a beautiful language. The people, when you get there, it's always like, even now when I go there,
and
like
they have very soft way of speaking. You never really hear them shout or anything.
And the energy. I mean,
East versus
the energy
West
of
is
African
totally
people
different as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Very.
For sure. And South and
yeah.
all that
They're all very different.
But it's like, people don't understand it when I'm always telling them, anytime anyone says, where are you going on holiday, or where should I go? I'm like, Zanzibar.
Yeah.
Zanzibar. And they're like, why? I'm like, Zanzibar. And I've been there so many times, and I don't plan to go anywhere. As soon as this lockdown comes off, I'm going to Zanzibar.
You're ready. Yeah.
Right.
It's
and I've been there so
now.
much. Like, everyone knows me now. I'm no longer Mzungo. I'm like proper, like, and it's is something different. I could retire there, 100%.
Amazing. And that's how I feel. Like the way I was treated when I was in, I've been to 13 African
Mm,
countries. And the way I was treated, not by the person who I was dating
mm,
in Kenya,
by
but
the
by
people. Yeah.
everyone. The way
Right.
I was treated, and nobody knew who I was,
Mm.
even when I would go there alone without him
And by
being
the way,
around.
that's everyone. They treat everyone like that. They're just
Everyone
so
so,
welcoming and
oh my
so
God.
like it.
Like
It's different.
they're so kind and like so giving and so
Mm,
kind and just so open and loving and like not loud and
mm.
like just very like nice and
And then you come in there
eating
like, "What up,
something. Yeah,
bitches?"
yeah, I come in there like gang gang
Yeah, yeah,
gang. I'm just
exactly.
kidding, I don't do that, but like no, they were just amazing. And like I Kenya really really resonated with
Yeah,
me
it's something that stays with you,
for
right?
sure. So now back to that story. When that went viral,
Mm,
when whoever the tea sipper was
mm,
went and said this to this blogger,
mm,
and he made a story of it. I woke up one morning and I went on my Insta like I always do. And I usually see my little odd, like here goes
mm.
like a bunch, 30 likes, and like, for like the
Yeah,
morning.
yeah,
This one was 32 minutes ago. This one was 12
yeah,
minutes
yeah.
ago. I refreshed my page and all I saw was follow, 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 follow. It was all blue. I
No
said, what the
way.
hell is going on with
Yeah,
Instagram? So I did it again,
yeah.
and it
And then
happened
more blue.
again.
Yeah,
And I did it again, and it happened again. And I freaked
yeah,
out.
yeah.
I went on my Insta and I said, I said, which blogger just posted me? Because I
Mm.
just got about
There's got to be it.
300 follows in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah,
and then nobody said anything for a few minutes.
yeah. Mm,
All of a sudden, my story views would be anywhere generally between 2 and 4,000 views.
mm.
I think I had 9,000 story views.
Wow.
And I said, something is wrong.
Something happened.
I
Well,
said,
something
something
must have
happening. I was
happened.
like,
Yeah,
oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what's going on?
yeah,
But mind you, the whole story is up right now of me and the
yeah, yeah,
governor. I am
yeah,
still not registering
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that it has
That it's
anything
got
to
that
do with
connection to
that
that. Yeah,
story.
yeah,
Okay. It's still up because it stays up for 24
yeah. You're
hours.
like, what have I done? I'm trying to
And
remember the
so
night
I
before.
put up
Yeah.
that post, and then boom, one of my Kenyan followers that had been following me from the time I was dating him, because I
Mm,
used to tag Mombasa,
mm,
but still it wasn't going viral because I didn't have that
yeah,
reach or any of that stuff.
yeah,
So I had Kenyan followers from back then, but they stayed super loyal to
mm,
me. They never said anything.
yeah,
They were just like, oh, wow, like, yeah, wow, you're that
yeah,
governor, like, blah, blah. And I would never answer them.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? But then two Kenyan girls who I always spoke to,
yeah.
like,
Mm,
they became like my friends.
mm,
They would even like defend me in comments and things like with other random people like around the internet.
mm.
They said, there's a blogger and he just posted you. Here's his page. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's cool.
They said, there's
Yeah.
a blogger and he just posted you. Here's his page. And I went and clicked on it and I saw my entire story on his. And then I saw all of my highlights
On there as well.
and I was like, whoa. So I messaged him and I said,
Hey,
um,
dude, what's up?
yeah.
What are you
I
doing?
said, why'd
Yeah.
you like, why are you posting my videos? And then I forgot what the whole conversation was like. But all I know is I just treated him still with respect
Yeah, yeah.
because he's just doing his
Mm.
job, and
And how was the response in the beginning? Was it
it
like
was absolutely
all hate?
horrible.
Like in Kenya, everyone's just sitting there
I
playing Outcast in their
oh
car, like Caroline,
oh
she's
no,
the
I was
reason for the
ripped
fur.
a new one. Like
Yeah,
I was ripped to shreds
yeah.
until I decided, I said, I'm going to do something. I'm going to go on
Mm.
Instagram Live and let's put a face to the name
Yeah.
and let's let these people know
People know
who I
what's going on.
really
Yeah.
am.
Mm.
And I said, okay, I'm going to go live. And I started to do my live videos. And when I was doing them in the beginning, I was defensive because all
Mm.
the comments were like attacking me, like,
But why do you think that is? You didn't do
because
anything wrong.
because he's married. But
Ah,
wait, we can
okay. Makes sense now.
So he's married, but let me explain how I broke it down to everybody
Mm.
else. Um, um, Everybody always asks me, and this is something I really haven't really addressed.
Mm.
Like, I never addressed it, but I'll address it. I think we've all been in situations where we've been married, and maybe at the moment we can be going through a divorce, or
Mm.
maybe not, or maybe at
Mm.
the moment we could be separated, or maybe not, or maybe
Mm.
at the moment we have an understanding with our
Or life
significant
just hits
other,
you. Yeah,
or
yeah.
based on religious beliefs or
Mm.
something, we have an understanding with the person with like, okay, I have. Who knows?
Mm.
I don't know that much detail
Mm.
about that situation, but all I know is that how he conducts his life, it's fine for
Mm.
him. You understand what I
Mm.
mean? I think that I couldn't explain it any other way. I wasn't a home wrecker. There was no
Mm.
home that I came and broke up.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? He lives on his own.
Mm.
And things like
But you
that.
knew at the time.
Yeah, well, we
Okay.
talked
Yeah, yeah.
about it.
Okay.
He's super honest.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I
Which is the best way to be in life,
oh,
right? I
he's
don't
super
understand why people
honest.
don't just tell it how it is,
Yeah.
because anything can be spoken about,
Oh,
and
yeah,
you
for
can get over
sure.
anything, or you can discuss everything, and it's a level playing field. Once you're just
Yeah.
like, hey, look, this is how it is.
Yeah, because naturally I was raised better than that.
Mm,
And I'm not a person who, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a person who would ever break up a happy
mm,
home or break up a family with kids or anything. I
mm,
wouldn't do that.
mm,
Not that I would say I'm in their situation, but I think that they have an understanding,
mm.
and whatever that is, he lives on his own.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? They have an understanding, and it is what it is. And yeah, we dated, and by no means in my home record. There's
Mm,
been many men who have tried to approach me
mm,
to, go on a date with me, or who
mm.
like me, and I realize that they have a wife and kids, and I'll say
Mm.
no. But in this particular
Wait,
case,
I need to delete a message I sent you a second ago.
oh, no, he
No, no,
didn't.
no, go.
No, he
Yeah,
didn't.
go.
But in this particular case, it was different.
Mm,
And yeah, I won't speak too much on his personal life because I
mm,
can't. I mean,
mm.
he's the only one who can speak on
Yeah,
that,
but
but
there's
I
no
know.
reason to. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah,
And what?
that's why people ripped me apart in the beginning, and then they got to know me,
Mm,
and they were like, "Whoa!" It went from hate
mm.
to complete outpouring of love
Right.
within 2 live sessions.
Nice.
The first one was it canceled all of that hatred.
Yeah.
Then the second one, there was still some of the spectators who were like, "I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know
I
what to think
really
about
want
this.
to
Yeah, yeah.
like this girl.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really want to like her because she seems really real. Like,
Mm,
because I'm really raw and
mm,
honest. Like, I don't have anything to hide.
mm,
Even my all those videos, I even said to the blogger, I said, I mean, I was never a secret because
mm.
you found it on my public
Yeah,
Instagram
exactly.
page, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was there for however long, for
Yeah, yeah.
two
Yeah.
years. You
And I
know,
didn't put it up there tagging names and putting
no,
pictures
never,
to get any attention out of
never,
it.
never,
Yeah.
never.
Because you
And
could have. A lot of girls
oh,
do
for
that kind of
sure.
stuff to try and get
Oh,
attention and
for
try to
sure. I
raise
could have
their.
tagged
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
And why would I? Why would I tag
Mm,
somebody who, number one, I mean, he has the right to his privacy.
mm,
And he is a person who has a specific job that cares
mm.
for a lot of people,
Exactly.
and that's a distraction.
Mm.
Why would I do that?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is his personal
Yeah. Why
life.
would you want to just bring a.
For what?
Yeah.
Like, it's pointless, you know what I mean? And he's a human being like everybody else, and
Mm,
he has a life like everybody else. And that's the human side of him that I had to let my following know.
mm,
And that's why it was so important to me to not stay quiet. The
mm,
way people typically just like, oh, just be quiet, it will go away.
mm.
No, it won't, because then I'll still be perceived
Yeah,
in the
yeah. As
media
that.
of
Yeah.
how they were typing, trying to guess who I was,
Yeah.
and saying all these things, that I'm this, like, whatever, high budget slay
Mm,
queen, I'm this, I'm that. And I'm like, no, I
mm.
mean, fine. If that means something good, then I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. If not,
But
yeah.
like, let me just actually tell you who I really am,
Mm,
because you deserve to know, I guess.
mm,
The cat's out the bag. I'll just let you know. And so I did, and it worked in my favor.
mm. And like loads of fan pages started opening up, right?
More than 100 at this point.
That's nuts.
So the fan pages came, I would say, after my second live broadcast, and after the second one, we had a good time.
Mm,
At that point, I really let them get to know who I was. They were like,
mm,
"Can we have a house tour?" I said, "Yeah." I brought them all around my house,
mm,
and then I decided, because we're in a global pandemic, and I realized everybody was tuning in, and it's
mm.
because everybody's stuck at home.
Yeah, exactly.
I said, "Here I am showing a fan base of, for the most part,
Something
people
very
who
personal as well.
something
Yeah.
very personal. I'm showing them the personal side of my life, telling them a lot of information. Plus, I'm showing them my very, very, very lavish life,
Mm, mm,
a life that some people can dream of.
mm,
And I know the way I was raised, very humbly. I was
mm,
raised, I had a lot, and I was very lucky and
mm,
fortunate growing up. But I was raised super humble
mm,
because my parents came from humble
mm,
beginnings. And I said, the audacity of me to show these people
yeah.
some things that they probably can't afford, or maybe some of them will never be able to
Yeah.
afford it. But I hope to God that most of them will be.
Yeah, yeah.
I believe in so many people. But I said, I need to do something different.
Mm,
So I thought to myself, what am I going to do? And I decided to start doing giveaways. I said, we're going to do these lives,
mm,
guys. We're all stuck in the house, and I want to help people.
mm,
And it started off quite small. Me and Edgar, the blogger,
mm,
partnered and collaborated on the very first giveaway. and I gave him all the money, and I said he can choose 20
Choose, yeah,
people to give the
I
money
do.
to. And then
Mm,
after that, I just did it on my own, and the
mm,
numbers increased. It went from 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 30, 40 to
mm,
50. And then outside of that, there's a lot of very religious girls
mm.
and people
Who
who
don't want to
can't.
kind of say
Yeah,
that
they
you gave them
can't. They
something, and
yeah.
yeah.
So behind the scenes, I help a lot of people.
But isn't it nuts that even though you're doing that, you'll still get people who will be like, "That's not
Oh
enough,"
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah, for
"I'm
sure.
not getting it," or "This is
Oh,
a trick,"
oh
or
yeah,
"This
yeah.
is."
No, no, no.
You must have got loads of
So
that stuff.
loads. So like they'll say, "Oh, I feel like she's only maybe gifting her fan pages,"
Mm,
or "It's not enough money, like 1,100 shillings." Like, are you kidding? That buys groceries for the
right?
whole week.
You clearly don't need it if you think it's not
Yeah,
enough
if it's
money.
in that
Yeah.
that's what I said. I said if anybody's saying, because I made a poll. I
Mm,
did a vote and I let the people always decide. I always
mm.
let my following and my fans decide. Guys, should I give 5 people each $100,
Or like
or
50
should I
people
give
each $20. Yeah.
50 people each $10?
Mm,
Where everybody was like, "What? We only spend like 50 shillings on credit and data
mm,
to see your stories. So like,
mm.
why wouldn't we each want a
Yeah,
chance to win?"
exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So I said, done. I made them
Mm,
drop yellow hearts for this option or blue hearts,
mm,
and everybody voted unanimously.
mm,
We want more people to win.
mm.
So I said, cool, that's how
Yeah.
we're going to do it. And we
Yeah.
did it like that. And naturally, the people who don't win, and I get over 1,000 entries every
Yeah.
giveaway, and the people who don't win get really pissed.
Mm,
And then they start to say, "Oh, it's not enough money," or "Oh, she's just giving it to her fan pages." No, the problem is that the reason why you know about my fan pages who are winning too is because
mm.
they have masked identities.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're called Caroline DXB
Mm.
underscore
This or that.
whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they could say
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you publicly because you don't know who
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Exactly.
is. You know what I
But the
mean?
real person
But the
isn't going to
real
have that
person,
on their
they're
thing. Yeah.
shy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? They have the right to a bit of privacy. They don't
Mm,
need anybody knowing that they need charity
mm,
or that they need a little help. You
mm.
know, so it's I don't mind. Like I've learned now that I have to ignore those people,
Yeah.
who are saying the negatives, because I know how many lives already in the last month and a half that I've
Mm,
changed. You know,
yeah.
so I was happy to be able to make something positive out of something that could have turned out to be super negative,
Yeah.
and that was my
I mean,
happiest
I'm sure
moment.
there's people out there that are still, still hating and
I'm sure, but
still
they've
kind of
trickled
doing
to the
things.
back because they know that my
Yeah,
fan
they
base
can't
is
do anything now, right? They just
hardcore.
won't be seen.
Oh, I mean, the moment somebody writes even a negative comment in my live,
Mm,
like my wolf pack comes out and just
it's
attacks.
straight up. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, they are dead meat. Like they can't even last. They just disappear. So like
So you got
at
some
this point,
warriors there ready for
oh,
you already.
big time.
It's ready to
My
go.
soldiers, I got them, and they really have my back so much. And we're planning a massive meet and greet
Mm,
in Nairobi. I did a
nice.
poll on my Instagram story because a PR girl asked me. I was like, "Hey, I want to do a meet and greet," and she was like, "Are you popular enough?" And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was like, and she was like, "Who are?" And then she Googled me and she's like,
yeah.
"Well,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
that'll
let's do
work."
it.
But she was like, "Can you do me a favor?" And I said, "What?" She was like, "Why don't you go on your story? Because not even all my fan base watches my story.
Mm,
Some people are on my page only too." And she said, "Do a poll and see how many people would come to your meet and greet
mm,
in Kenya."
mm.
So I said, "Hi, everybody. Would you want to come to my meet and greet in Nairobi?" Click
They're
yes
just
if
like,
yes, if no, if no. It was over 3,000
yeah,
people who hit yes.
yeah,
So she was like, wow. And if it's over 3,000 people who hit yes, each person will naturally probably bring somebody with
yeah,
them.
exactly. Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's a
So you're talking
massive.
about a
So the
huge.
scale of how I want to do it is where I am obviously a person who's really into like doing the concerts and
Mm,
festivals and things like that. And I would want to do it where I bring some local artists to
nice.
open. I
Take them
don't
over
have, I
there.
mean, what talent do I have?
Yeah.
I'll get up there and I'll talk to them and like encourage them and do that whole women empowerment thing
Well,
that I'm all
look,
about.
you heard me sing at the beginning, so if
Yeah.
you do need top of the level kind of talent and
Oh,
raw
that would be
talent,
amazing.
then I could kind of free up some time and maybe go and do
Okay,
something over
AJ.
there,
AJ's gonna be the opening act.
right?
He's gonna come out. He's gonna
I
sing for
think
you
opening
guys.
and closing, because obviously once I'm off the stage, they're going to be really eager to kind of get me back on there. So we'll kind of do opening and
Amazing.
closing there.
Yeah, no, that would be amazing. I think they
So
would enjoy that.
so what was it like dating a powerful politician out there?
Um, wow. I've never even like thought too much about what it was really like,
Mm,
but it was really cool.
mm,
If I just have to think back on it,
mm.
because obviously when you're living in that moment, you don't think
Yeah, it's
anything
just
of
as
it.
flying past. Yeah,
It's just life.
yeah.
But when you think back on it and you think like this isn't normal, like it's not
But
normal
was there
being.
anything that stuck out where, I mean, maybe you arrived somewhere or
Yeah,
the way
well, when
you
I
arrived somewhere and you're
arrive,
like, okay, this is different.
well, yeah, like when I arrive at the airport, I get airlifted to his backyard.
Okay.
That's a little
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
That's a little
yeah, yeah.
different. And in the moment, you don't think anything of it because you
Mm.
become used to stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then, like, when it's not happening anymore, you realize
It's
that
like,
you're
hey,
freaking
why am I
normal.
driving?
Why
Yeah.
do I, what? I have to
Yeah.
drive from the airport home? No, I don't like this. I'm just kidding. But no, that I would say that's
Definitely
different.
not kidding.
And then of course, like going places and then people just getting so
Yeah.
excited. You know what I mean? And just like clapping and like loving him and just wanting to
Mhm.
take pictures and like
I mean, I
I've
get
been
that. That
around.
happens a lot when I walk into the mall and stuff.
Oh
So
yeah.
I understand, some of my friends, I'm like, prepare for this.
Oh
I
my
walk in,
God, you're
there's two
funny.
lines and then there's rose petals, and I'm like, please, come on, I'm just like you, kind of,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So yeah, that was I think that was like an eye opener, but it didn't also shock me because I'm around a lot of
Mm.
celebrities. So I know a lot of celebrities were friends with so many different actors
Yeah, yeah.
and rappers and singers
So
and
who's the most famous
socialites.
person in your phone?
Oh my
I've done this with a couple of
gosh.
guests, actually.
Wow.
If you had to go through it now.
Um, I think it would really depend on who I'm talking to, like who would perceive who as famous, actor or
Okay,
rapper.
for example, if numbers were worth money and you had to sell one of your numbers, which would be the most expensive number do you think that would come?
Oh my gosh. So okay, let me break this down. So if I had to sell numbers to a person who wanted to potentially be an artist,
Yeah.
I would think. Do I have to name drop the person?
So you can show me or you can name drop, yeah?
Oh
Up
my
to you.
God. Okay, well, I would say I'm friends with somebody who owns Quality Control Music. His name is QC. His
Okay.
name is P. Then I'm also friends with one of the co-founders of Rockefeller Records.
Okay. Me
You
too.
know, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Who Biggs?
No, Jay.
Oh, really?
Definitely not.
Oh God, I
But it
was
would
like,
have been pretty
wow.
cool, right? I
Yeah,
would,
that is.
would have liked to trump your number.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that if Jay did
Um,
meet me, he really would like me.
yeah,
Yeah.
those are pretty valuable.
Nice.
And then if I had to say like artist wise, we know too many. I
Mm.
know like all of them. And then actors, I know a few.
Yeah.
I know a few A-listers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Here's a question that I want to ask, which I'm sure many people are thinking. What leg does a man have to stand on now when he's trying to date you after dating a governor? Can you
Uh,
understand how some guys might be a
would
bit
be
intimidating
intimidated.
because it's like, well, I'm gonna come and pick you up in my Yaris, not as
Well,
nice as a chopper,
no.
but
Okay, like let me give you an example. Yeah, some guys would be intimidated, and I think that like um they shouldn't be.
mm,
I think that every like you know what I mean? I think confidence breeds confidence. I think
for
that
sure.
they should just,
Mm,
be secure in the fact of who they are because I'm not a shallow girl.
mm,
I'm very open minded. I went from dating a politician to dating a normal guy
mm,
here in Dubai who I won't acknowledge his existence ever again, but
mm,
like he still existed at one point.
yeah. So
And
there's no issues. There's nothing that.
no, I mean, of course, naturally, I have
Well, you have to have a
standards.
job,
Yeah, yeah. I'm not
or at
paying.
least be doing something that is gonna
Oh, I'm
get you
definitely
money.
not paying
Yeah,
any man's bills.
yeah,
Like I don't want to. Like unless it's my husband and like
yeah,
we
yeah,
lost it all. And
yeah,
like
yeah.
you know what I mean? That's different. But like I'm not gonna get into a situation where I'm anybody's sugar mama. I'm not doing that.
Mm.
You know, I I've done that
But I mean,
before
you're
and
at the
I'm not
stage where
doing it
you
again.
don't need anyone's money. So
Yeah.
what if it was a guy who just had a normal job? You didn't
That's
need
fine.
his
As long
money.
as
He
he can pay
doesn't
his
need
own
your money.
bills.
Yeah, he can pay his own bills, but
It's fine.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Hear that, guys? It's fine.
That's fine for me.
Okay, because you
Like
can see how a lot of people would be like, "Oh yeah," I mean, because not a lot of people have confidence in that kind of thing,
mhm.
with guys in general, and they could be thinking like, oh, this is gonna be." But then again, would they really be worth dating if they didn't have that drive where they would be like, I don't
Yeah,
care, I'm gonna get there
I
anyway."
it's interesting. Like I guess the guys that what I would perceive to be normal
Mm,
don't even try to date me.
mm,
They just automatically just want to be my friend because they
mm,
feel like that I'm out of their league, and that
mm.
makes me sad a little.
Yeah, but this is the whole thing. I don't think any woman is out of any man's league, and vice
Exactly.
versa. Like
I
anyone has the
agree.
power
It
to
makes
sweep
me
someone off their
sad.
feet,
Yeah,
because
for
you just have to just be
sure.
like,
Like it's crazy. Like I can honestly even say like there has been like maybe one guy I could say in my life, like in my single life, which I
mm,
haven't been single much
mm,
because I literally went from a marriage to a long-term
mm,
serious relationship with another
mm,
person to like little windows of where I
mm.
can date.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm really a girl who goes right into serious relationships. But there was one guy who was my friend
Mm.
and he friend zoned himself, thinking
Mm.
that I was out of his
Yeah.
league. And I had the biggest crush on him, and he was so normal, like, and like he just didn't know, and I couldn't
Yeah.
do anything about it
Yeah.
because it's just like now we're all friends, and like, what can I do?
But I mean, this is the problem that people don't realize is people complicate things too much, and they don't realize that no matter what you're going through in life, everyone is going through the same shit.
For sure.
No matter what stresses and heartaches and whatever, everyone's going through. They might show it differently.
For
It might
sure.
be a different level, and every woman is just the girl that wants to be
For
just wants to
sure.
be
Like
happy.
I would
Like no
even
matter who it
I
is.
used to even tell my ex, like I was like, it means more to me like when you like give me like a nice card opposed to when you buy me really expensive gifts.
Yeah.
Because I can save this. And like I have
Yeah.
cards still from like my boyfriend in high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have them in my
Right.
closet at home, like from
Yeah.
like 15 years ago. And I cherish things like that. And I say I'm not this bougie girl. Like you can go on my social media and you'll see some designer labels and
Mm.
stuff, but I'm not the girl who will go
Yeah.
right
It
up to the
doesn't
camera
define
with
you.
my
Yeah. Yeah.
handbag. Like you
Yeah.
have to see this new
Yeah.
YSL that I have.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that girl. I love nice
Mm.
things and I have lots.
Yeah.
But it's not I've always had it my whole life.
Mm.
So it's not I have no point to prove.
Mm.
You know what I
I think
mean?
there's nothing wrong with shrimp.
Huh?
There's nothing wrong with having shrimp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no point to prove. I don't feel the need to show everybody
Mm.
all my handbags
Mm.
or show everybody every new outfit that I get. You know,
Yeah.
like I don't care actually. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna take a picture of whatever I'm wearing that day.
Mm.
I don't care.
And that's it. Just get on with it.
Yeah, just get on with it. If I'm wearing
Mm.
like a boutique, like a dress that cost me like $14, or if
Mm.
I'm wearing a Balmain dress that cost me like 6,000,
Mm.
I'm still gonna
But
show
this
it.
is what I was telling my friends and my clients before, because I do a lot of PTing as well and stuff like that. So I'm always like, look after your body,
Hmm.
and you can put a $1 t-shirt on, and it will look great.
So hot.
Do you know what I mean? It looks
So hot.
that as long as you stay in shape,
Yep. Agreed.
it doesn't matter what the label says,
Agreed.
because
Agreed.
it's your best fashion, your first point of fashion, isn't it?
100%.
No matter what you put on it, it's gonna look good.
100%. 100%.
What questions do you think that people are dying to know the answer to, that you haven't kind of told people yet, or kind of covered, or is there anything that sticks out to you?
Yeah. So there's a couple of questions that I get often, and one of them being a lot of girls want to know where my strength comes from because they will watch me on the internet
Mm.
have a breakup and literally show no emotion.
Mm.
And they want to know what that stems from.
Mm.
I would say I'm not that strong behind the scenes, but we kind of show people what we want them to see,
Mm.
you know, and I'm the same as everybody else. I go through it.
Mm.
I would say in this most recent breakup I've had, my audience helped me through it because I
Mm.
didn't have a chance to
Mm.
grieve the breakup
Yeah.
because 48 hours after it happened, I was
Mm.
catapulted into like the front page of
Mm.
the news outlets
Yeah.
and the media and the blogs.
But also you developed a support system through it as
I
well.
developed a major support system. I mean, my following was my backbone. If I didn't
Mm.
have them, I don't know, maybe I would have relapsed and called the guy,
Mm.
or maybe I would try to reach like
How did you? How did it end? I'm
this
sure people
most
want to know.
recent
Yeah, I'm sure people.
breakup, like
Yeah,
the guy who I dated in Dubai, or from my Kenyan ex.
from the Kenyan ex.
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure everybody wants to know. Like we don't have to go into detail.
Yeah,
But,
I was asked already in another
Mm.
interview how we broke up, and we broke up. I don't know, like it was just obviously differences.
Mm.
Um, it's just it's difficult to talk about
Mm.
because we're friends now.
Yeah.
So like talking about that where
Yeah.
that maybe was a hard thing to
Mm.
go through.
Mm.
We're friends now and I love that. You know what I
Mm.
mean? It just says something about
Yeah, yeah.
mine and his
Yeah,
character both.
exactly. Yeah.
You know, we're pretty cool people. He's a
Mm.
cool person, I'm a cool person. And maybe, you know, whatever the timing was or whatever other factors were around us of why we went our separate
Mm.
ways. It was just meant to be that way because now
Mm.
we're good. We're
Mm.
good. You know, we're friends and I love his friendship, you know, and I
Mm.
have no kind of romantic involvement with
Mm.
him or anything. He's just my friend.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I love that. I
Yeah.
prefer to have him in my life in some capacity. And
Yeah,
if it's
yeah.
just being friends,
Yeah.
then I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm happy, you know, and he's okay. He's content. And we never had this wild, messy breakup
Mm.
that ended up in the media or any of that
Mm.
nonsense. So I think that's the reason why. Obviously, we're in the media now,
Mm.
But
I'm sure many people just have their own ideas of why and spreading rumors
yeah,
and all
they
that
had
stuff.
their own ideas because I've had friends who apparently talk to blogs or
Mm,
former friends, and we kind of know who those people were because they were the only people like involved
mm,
or around, and they went and talked to blogs and told stories, and so yeah, naturally to make people speculate, they thought it was because of a bad business deal or something like that, and it had nothing to do with that.
bad business deal.
Yeah, because we were meant to do a concert in Mombasa,
Ah, okay.
and when that festival didn't happen.
Could still happen when you go do your meet and greet.
Exactly, but it'll be in Nairobi
Yeah.
though,
Oh yeah, of
different
course.
county.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, people started to speculate, and they thought it was because it was like a
Mm,
bad business deal, and that wasn't the reason why we broke up.
mm.
No. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's any reason for anyone to break up. To
yeah.
be
Why
fair,
would
if
I
you guys
break
are
up
seeing each other,
with my
I mean, I got
significant other?
myself and my wife. Her marrying me was a bad business deal in the first place, but we're still together.
You're
We're
very
still together. It's gonna
funny.
carry on. There's nothing else.
You're very funny. But yeah, so additionally, I would say that people ask me often about, I think a lot of people, especially during this really difficult time of
Mm,
us being in quarantine and us being going through a global pandemic, it's causing a lot of mental health issues,
mm,
and it's causing a lot of people to be very, very depressed and stressed out.
mm.
And a lot of people ask me, how do I
How do you deal
cope
with it?
with
Mm.
any kind of depression or stress? And I've never even expressed to people that, like, not more recently, so it's, I think they're just asking me a
In
general
general, yeah.
question, but little do they know I've had severe depression at one
Mm.
point in my life, severe, almost on the verge of suicidal.
Really,
Yeah, I went through it, like I went through it, and I don't
that's
know.
very brave. I find suicide the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah,
I'm not brave enough
I
to even
didn't
consider it.
see, I didn't cut, I didn't, like, I'm obviously alive,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm here, but like I didn't see.
Was it anything specific, or was it just
Yeah.
a?
It was like I went through some stuff like in my like late teenage years,
Hmm.
like with a guy, of course.
Okay.
And because that was my first like love,
Yeah, yeah,
and like I just didn't know how to handle it. And I was a girl who kind of blossomed late. I
yeah,
didn't start the whole I didn't have a million boyfriends thing. I was from a very strict family where
yeah,
I couldn't bring a different boy around every day.
yeah,
So
yeah,
like I was so hung up on the one boy I
yeah.
was with, and I got really, really depressed
Mm,
when it didn't work, and I almost became suicidal because, well, I was. And then um, I've always suffered a bit, or maybe it trickled from that because
yeah.
prior to that I was okay, but I have anxiety to this
Mm,
day. And I have a
mm,
lot of panic attacks to this day. Like I'll be driving in my car and I'll freak the frick out if I'm stuck in traffic for too
yeah.
long. I'll have a proper panic attack. Like I'll start sweating and like,
Really.
yeah, I'll have a whole panic attack, and like it's very real. So anybody who's going through stuff like that, it's don't worry. Like you guys can look at my life and
Everyone
think
goes
it's,
through it,
yeah,
huh?
we all go through it.
Everyone, in one shape or another.
Yeah, people will be like, "Oh no, but money will solve that." No,
Yeah, of
it
course it will.
won't.
Money will make it worse. You got more to lose. The more money
Y-
you have, the more you have
Oh
to
my
lose.
gosh.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't solve anything.
yeah,
Yeah, it pays my bills so I don't like what go to jail or something
mm,
like for like bouncing a check.
yeah,
But like money, I mean, that's a quick fix, but
yeah,
it doesn't fix emotionally what's wrong inside if you're going through
mm,
shit, emotionally. So money fixes, it masks, makes your
mm,
life a little bit more cushiony. It makes the fall a little bit more
mm.
softer,
But you're
but
still gonna fall.
you're still
You're
gonna
still gonna
fall
land.
anyway. You know what I mean? You're still gonna experience the same pain that other people experience. You're still
Mm,
gonna cry at night. You're still gonna go through the same. I'm a human being like everybody else.
mm. I mean, it's documented. One of the greatest philosophers of the last century said, "The more money you come across, the more problems you see."
Who Biggie
Yeah,
Smalls?
that's right. So,
The
um,
notorious B.I.G.
yeah, great philosopher. I have him up there with Plato and the rest of them,
You kill
Socrates.
me. Oh my
Um,
God.
but isn't it strange that when you're young, that first love or that first thing when when you break up, like how you
I thought it
evolve,
was the end of the
the
world.
end of the
Now
world,
when I
right?
look at him, I'm like gagging.
Right. Like now, even now, when you break up now, because you've evolved mentally and you've changed and stuff, you're just like, sucks, but I'll get over it, kind of
Like
thing.
literally
But
gagging.
then it was
Oh,
literally like,
I
I even remember
I
myself
thought I
just
couldn't
sitting there
live.
crying
Yeah.
and really thinking about putting like a video up and sending a person like, I will never find another love, like crying, saying, I just wanted to send you
Oh
this
my
message, like kind of
gosh.
thing. And it's
Oh
just
my
like,
gosh.
because I was late as well. So I used to play professional football,
Yeah.
soccer,
Yeah.
when I was in the UK.
Yeah.
all through childhood and up to teenagers and all that. So I wasn't interested in girls.
Okay.
Like even till now, I don't drink alcohol or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I was just fitness, training, football every day.
Wow.
That was my career. That's all. So I didn't lose my virginity or anything like that till I was like almost 18. So I wasn't involved in all that stuff.
Wow.
So
Yeah, it's like me.
and the person I lost my virginity to is my son's mum, and we
Oh,
got married and we
wow.
were together for like 8 years,
Amazing.
and so I didn't have that kind of like spring breaky kind of like
I
yeah
never
let's go
had it.
around
I've
doing
never
whatever I
been on
want kind
spring
of thing.
break in
Yeah,
my life.
you know.
I never had it.
So it's I don't know. It's a strange thing.
Yeah, it's strange. And like I went from long-term relationship as like a teenager to going into marriage.
Right. Same.
So there was no like here I go with like my 5 different boyfriends
Right.
every 6 months. Like I never had that. And my older sister would say like you're going to go through like a hoe
Yeah.
phase.
Phase. Yeah.
And I'm like I'm not
Yeah.
cuz like now I'm old. Like
Yeah.
if I would have like
It's too
left my
late.
ex-husband in my mid-20s,
Yeah.
then maybe I would have gone through my hoe
Yeah.
phase, but it's too late.
Do you
And
have
so
like a special like in your closet? You just have one outfit, like the hoe face outfit, and then you just open it every now and then and just stroke it and go, "This could have been great, but it's not."
no,
Close it back again
I
when
don't
it's full.
even desire to be that. Like
Yeah.
now, I mean, all of the strictness and all of the things that my parents instilled in me, it resonates with me now.
And you're a woman and a mum, and
Yeah.
who can be asked
I
when you've
have
got
no
that much
desire to be a
responsibility,
hoe.
right?
I'm fine with it. I'm fine
Yeah.
with just being like a prude and like I'm okay with it and just, living vicariously through all the hoes around me.
See, yeah, right. I don't want to give you a panic attack now, but there's a segment that I do towards the end of all of the podcasts.
Okay.
And since you started telling me about panic attacks now, I think the drive home might be a bit
Okay,
stressful.
now I'm
Luckily,
ready
you got
for
Sean
it.
that he'll
Don't
be
worry,
right.
I'm good.
Talk to me about the second after everything changes, the afterlife.
The afterlife.
The-
You're asking if I fear dying?
Do you think about dying? Do you fear
I
dying?
think about it all the time.
Too. Every day.
I think about dying all the
Every day,
time. I
right?
want to know how I'm going to die, how long it's going to take. Am I going to die now when I'm young? Is my son going to be left alone if I die?
What
I've had near-death experiences.
strange, right?
Yeah, I've had them, and I've had near-death experiences. So death is something that
Did you see a light?
um
Did you see Billie
you know
Holiday?
what's so interesting?
Billie Holiday and Marvin Gaye and Tupac singing.
No,
Bugs
none of
Mansion?
that. But
No?
but I mean, obviously I've never like this is so crazy. Like I've never talked about some of the things that's happened like in my life, but like I've had I would say 2 very near death experiences.
Okay.
One when I was a teenager, and I would say at that point I saw the light. I was in a coma.
Wow.
So I saw the light. I would think I saw the light.
Were you in a coma, or you just going to be able to work that day, so you just pretended you were?
No, I was young. I was only 16 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must
So-
have been, like, was it a long coma or
No,
a short?
it was short. It was maybe I was in it. I don't even know how long it was. Few days, something like that.
So you literally,
I nearly
when you came
died.
back?
Yeah, I nearly died.
and how did it feel coming out of it? Did you know that was it
It was
explained to you?
fuzzy.
Were you
Like,
kind of
and they were saying when I was coming to, I was trying to like rip tubes out of my mouth and out of my throat and all that stuff. And then,
Wow.
yeah, I remember. The one thing I remember is I saw my grandmother who's deceased when I was like coming out of it. When I remember recollecting when I was finally out of the
You
hospital.
saw her in the
hospital,
room, or saw her?
I saw her in my visions
Okay.
when I wasn't coherent. I was in the cusp between waking up and still being in a coma. And I remember this. This is my only memory I have. And I said, I saw her, Mom. I saw her. And that to me, in this, I swear, and I could never forget it because I don't believe in all that when people are like, I just saw a ghost. I
Yeah.
sometimes think I see shit out the corner of my eye, but I know it's
Yeah.
because I need glasses.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm probably just seeing shadows.
Or now with all these followers, there's probably a guy just looking through the window. He found your house and he's just like, he saw you. He's like, shit.
So yeah, I did see that, and that was I don't know if that was the closest to the light I've ever seen.
So you got a second lease on life.
Yeah, I saw something, and I just remember that in that dream, I want to call it a dream because I wasn't awake. She wasn't talking to me; she was just gesturing.
And being a parent, can you imagine your parents?
Oh, my yeah, they were beside themselves.
through, because being a parent, that's my biggest fear.
Yeah, they were beside themselves.
That's my
And
biggest fear.
so many like I can honestly say so many kids like growing up where we grew up, where money was just like water,
Yeah.
just free flowing.
Yeah.
A lot of kids died in my town growing up in my city, because of drug
Drug overdoses.
overdoses
Yeah.
and shit like that. I lost a lot of friends, you know what I mean? And I was never a druggie. I never overdosed on
Yeah.
drugs and stuff like that. But there was a lot of depression. Like a lot of kids were really, really rich and like their parents weren't present.
Yeah, and they had
You
nothing.
know,
They had everything.
they
But
had everything, but
which
nothing.
goes back to the point that money
Be-
doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. They had everything, but they had nothing. And all they really wanted was their parents. You know what I mean? And their parents weren't there.
So
And
what do you think happens
when you die?
Yeah.
I want to believe what I was taught, that when we die, we go to heaven and it's like, it's super like lit up there.
Yeah.
But what I believe is I really at this point don't know what's going to happen. I don't think this is it though. I feel like I'm
It's
too
too
much of a
perfect.
presence.
Yeah,
I'm too much of a force for this to be over once I just become cold and ice in a box. I feel like the spirit within me, because I have all these thoughts all the time, like when I'm not talking and like, I feel like, you know, I don't know. I just feel like my spirit is going somewhere. I hope it doesn't remain here where I'm going to like ghost people and like scare them and shit.
Yeah.
But like,
just like a life story just come out of nowhere on your profile.
yeah. But then you lose, when you lose somebody super close to you, you see signs and you start to wonder, oh my God, are they really around? Because I've experienced things in my life where
chills and
where I'm like, wait a minute, I felt that. I was just thinking about you, and now I just saw something that's yours. How did that get there?
Yeah, I think the connection is crazy. The connection between us and the earth and individuals and how everything is connected one way or another through energy, through through everything. It's a nuts thing. I mean, I always think about it, and I always just I think I'm focused more on the split second before and after more than the long term after. I don't know
I
why.
just want to know how I'm going to die. Am I going to die as an old lady? Am I going to die of a terminal illness? Am I going to die in a car accident?
Would you want to know? I mean, you get anxiety just being in traffic now already.
Yeah.
What if you knew?
I just want to know, like, is my casket going to be able to be open or closed?
All right, you're not in Latin Kings. It's not that serious.
I just
you're not having gunfights.
Like, am I gonna die like going through like the windshield of like a car?
No, you'll be fine.
Okay.
Thank
you very much.
I say that.
Thank you very much for letting me know.
Yeah.
I was just told that I will die in a nice way.
Yeah, it's fine.
By AJ.
It's going to cost you that bit of information. Yeah, I just think it's I love and hate it, and I love that it's a commonality that puts the whole world together. That no matter what you have, no matter who you are, no matter what,
we're all
gonna
die.
To everyone.
I mean,
which
at the
is
end
also
of the
the same with money as well. It's like, even if you're the richest person in the world and you have everything,
you're not taking it with you.
No, but forget that. It's like, we can still get you. We'll take your wife. We'll take your son. We'll take your mother. We'll take your. So no matter how much you think you can have happiness of everything, there will always be
some of the richest people in the world have committed suicide and left it all behind because that's how depressed they were. Huh?
Where did they leave it?
They left it behind.
I need some of that stuff, right?
I know, right?
Where did they leave it? If you have any locations or anything,
I know, but they have. You know, it's money doesn't solve everything, and you can have all the money in the world and be the most loneliest person.
This is the thing in Zanzibar, and this is why I love taking my boys there. They love it there. But I mean, right outside, the village where we go and stay and stuff, you just see kids and chickens and goats and running and playing. And I don't know if you did this in America when you were younger, but in the UK, in the playground in school, we used to have these empty tires, and we just like
rolling them.
And you just see them doing it there, and the amount of fun they're having doing that just shows you that nothing means nothing. You can have everything and have nothing, and
they don't know what it's like to have everything, so it's not like they're longing for it. They just want to know how they're going to eat and like just survive, and just be kids.
Just throw his iPad away and get him a tire and let's see what happens.
That won't fly in 2020. I would be the most hated mom. Like, Mom, you're evil.
Yeah, but I think he'd be surprised once he rolls it a few times and tries to catch it.
I think if he saw a group of kids doing it, he forgets about his iPad when there's a whole group of buddies around.
Yeah.
He couldn't care less about playing on an iPad. He wants to just go swimming and like chill with his buddies. But like right now, it's like, who does he have? He just has me, and I have things to do as well.
Yeah. So you
I mean, I can't be all day like doing Nat Geo science projects with him like all day, back to back. Like I have to work and I have to do things as well.
True.
So it's the iPad is definitely a good babysitter sometimes.
Mm.
Not gonna lie, it
Yeah,
helps
for
a
sure.
lot,
For sure.
you know. But
What can you do, right?
I hope this pandemic ends soon. That way our kids can get back to their normal
Right. Get
lives.
back to their
That's what I
normal
care
lives and
about
get on with
most
it.
because my life is starting to feel still a little normal. Like
Yeah.
it's okay. I'm still able to do my things. But like he's not, and he's
Mm.
missing his friends
His friends and stuff,
terribly.
right?
You know, yeah, his social life is what's affected the most, and it could really mentally affect a
Mm.
child if they have no
I think
social life.
everyone will get over it.
Yeah.
I think it was needed. I think it's
Yeah, it was a cool
yeah,
little, but I've had enough at this
yeah,
point.
it's
Like
done now,
half my
right?
year is like wasted at this point.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah, yeah,
insanity.
yeah. But hey,
Do you think the
it
borders will
happens.
open soon?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I
I
hope
want to
so.
get out of here.
I really want to go to
Oh, I want to
Zanzibar
get out of
again.
here. Yeah, I want to go. I want to go to Kenya.
Yeah, yeah,
I want
really.
to go to. I just want
And
to go to
it will
Africa.
happen. Tell me about the. Oh, first of all, for my, because obviously I know you have a lot of followers, but I have 15 subscribers today.
I'm gonna be posting this,
So
so all my
no, no,
all
I mean
my
I want
followers.
you to get those 15 because they're top quality 15.
Oh, okay.
So
I want you to get. I
no,
want you to
so
get my
on
113.
Instagram, um, where can they find you for the people that don't know?
So the people who don't know me, my Instagram name is Caroline DXB,
Okay.
Caroline DXB. If you type in Caroline DXB, you'll find about 100 pages.
Right.
I'm just the only Caroline DXB with nothing
But nothing
else
else
on there.
after.
But there'll be Caroline DXB underscore diva underscore sassy underscore classy underscore
Underscore girl.
001 underscore bay.
I think I've got sassy under one of my underscores as well when people search for me because I do have like, kind of like sassy and
So,
witty as
yeah,
well. Yeah.
there's a
What
lot of
about
my
the
DXB
music
squad.
as well? You guys do a lot with music. Is there any kind of
We
things that you want to
do.
push with that?
I do. So right now it's we're kind of switching gears a little bit more into the realm of our film stuff, which would be Bscope TV.
Okay. And what is that?
And I'm a TV presenter and host for Bscope TV.
Mhm.
Sean is here. He's behind the scenes right now. And Sean is the founder of Bscope TV. Right, Sean? But it hasn't fully launched yet. But I do
Okay.
want everybody just to be looking out on my social media and look out on
So you're gonna
Bscope TV social media, and there will be more announcements about what we're doing and all that stuff.
They're also on Instagram as well.
Yeah, just
under
Bscope.
TV.
Yeah, Bscope TV.
And what about YouTube? Have you guys got a YouTube channel?
I'm launching my own YouTube channel, which I haven't
Okay.
told anybody yet.
Okay. You want to
Um,
say the name or you want to keep it a secret for now?
no, I mean, I'll just keep it for now.
Okay.
But I'll be launching my own YouTube channel, and my YouTube channel will be launched within the next couple of weeks. We've been filming.
Okay. Is it more of a vlog kind of channel or
It's
is
a
it?
lifestyle vlog.
Okay. Nice.
So yeah, it's definitely a lifestyle vlog, and it's for everybody.
Mm.
Like I want to make sure that there's content in there for everyone. There's content in there for my younger audiences. There's content in there for the guys.
Mm.
You know what I mean? There's mommy blogs because I'm a mom. I'm a single mom. And there's just a whole lot of fun. I know that's what you guys are looking for. You guys
Mm.
like my lifestyle, so I just want to take the camera with me and let you guys have every little bit of my life.
But that's the whole thing, like that, and that's why I started this thing. It's nice to be able to do something refreshing and just different,
For
and
sure.
you know something you're not charging for, something that when people just chilling out and they're a bit stressed, they can just have a laugh and just or watch something interesting that's going to take their mind off
For sure.
of what's going
For
on. You know?
sure. That's the best. And that's kind of what I want my YouTube channel to be. I just want it to be super authentic. No filter.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Let it just be raw and like real and true to who I am. The good and the bad parts I want you guys to see. I
Mm.
want you guys to see, okay, my day-to-day life that you guys like to see all that glitzy stuff. You know, like
Yeah.
even though I'm not super glitzy, you
Yeah.
know, but you guys esteem my house and my
Yeah.
cars and my things to be the glamorous life.
Mm.
You're gonna see the parts where I'm like screaming at my kid to get downstairs and start his schoolwork. So
That's
you'll
it.
see everything.
Amazing.
I want you to see it all.
Amazing. So I'll end this like we said before about me going in concert for you and helping you, you know, opening and closing.
Opening for my meet and greet.
So I think it's the only appropriate way is to end this with another
tune.
production
I'm
brought to
so
me.
ready for that.
Don't worry, you don't have to beatbox in the background.
Okay.
I'll just finish it. And the land of the brave. Wash your